Each time I'm trying to get services, there are schemes to keep me from services and a conspiracy that's criminal, but I don't know why you guys want to investigate. Because I go place to place with my bags and they're scheming to keep me from services year after year.
What do you mean they're scheming to keep you from services?
So the police department came in there and talked to staff, and the police department used to show and arrest me for trying to get services. Now they're doing it behind the scenes. I was arrested at New Beginnings in Garland, Texas, and assaulted. So if the police department is committing crimes and having these people lie to me and enlist them in their crime of conspiracy to violate rights, which is a felony, that's extreme. So why don't you figure out why location to location is scheming to keep me from services, enlisted in harassment and other schemes to keep me from fleeing abuse and services? Can you see why they repeatedly do that? Why would they not want me to be here today? People are eating. I couldn't do that. Well, tampering with evidence is a felony. So last time I was here, I called 911 on them because I still saw people in line that came after me that are still here. So anyway, I called 911 and security came out when I was on the phone and some kind of scheme and saying she was going to call the police on me for nothing. What I think happened was someone informed her that I had just placed a call to 911. So then to cover for that, like they have done years, they scammed that they were calling 911 on me for wanting to get services.
So today, did you call 911 today, or was this a previous incident?
It was a previous incident, but I'm trying to establish a pattern. Downey, what's your badge number?
1151.
I'm trying to establish a pattern of these locations, multiple different locations scheming to keep me from services. Why did she not want me to get services today or eat like multiple other parties?
Okay, well, let me go ask, all right?
Okay. So to cut down on the time, I don't know when this will upload because it's all controlled. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, okay. He's just talking to her. You guys called about her. I'm reporting, officer, that this place lied about the domestic violence program and then had me come 3 different times in one day for an appointment and then told me to leave during it. Then she lied about laundry, saying that was no longer done, and I saw people doing laundry, the same security guard. She won't let me eat. They want me to leave for today, but they keep scheming like this year after year. I'm being ignored. Did you ask her why they lied about the domestic violence program and why she lied about the laundry? Why would they want me to leave just for today? I can't get services anywhere because the police department keeps interrupting it. Talking, they'll use me recording people as a scheme to ban and deny future services. It looks like a play. So he's probably trying to have them scheme a criminal trespass.
What was your name?
Kiana Clark. Am I getting a criminal trespass for trying to want to get services again?
Spell your first name.
Am I getting a criminal trespass for trying to get services?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't been able to stop you guys. So why am I getting a criminal trespass?
Let me spell your first name for me.
Kiana, Keyana, Clark, Clark.
And your date of birth?
I'm going live. Can I write it down?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing we have is like just application.
Okay, she got it.
Okay.
Isn't this a felony charge to scheme year after year to keep someone from services and giving them criminal trespasses and corruption?
So
I thought this was a felony charge to what can violate someone's rights year after year to the extreme to where you're giving them a criminal trespass for trying to get services. I thought this was a felony charge for abusing power to do this repeatedly year after year.
Would you like me to explain it to you?
I thought it was a felony. Okay, go ahead.
It is not a felony charge because this is a private business. So
if the police department just came a few minutes ago and talked to staff, and each year after year, the police department is arresting me for trying to get services in a conspiracy, that is a felony charge. And then scheming criminal trespasses to keep me from safety and shelter year after year in the conspiracy is
would you
a
like me
felony.
to explain it to you. You keep.
Did you ask them why they lied about the domestic violence program? Did you ask them why they said had me go to an appointment 3 times in one day and then told me to leave and would not give me any services?
Let me explain why you're getting trespassed.
You're not. Did you ask them why they're scheming to
didn't.
deprive me services? Did you ask why that same security guard lied about the laundry program? Okay, so risky.
Would you like me to explain it to you?
I hope that the FBI explains everything that they need to do for these people that repeatedly commit crimes left and right with no accountability.
I'm going to explain it to you. If you keep talking over to me, I'm just going to keep talking so I can say I explained it to you. If you keep talking over to me and don't listen, that's on you, okay? So this is a private business, right? They're the Salvation Army.
But who's going to investigate people scheming to keep me from services year after year with no accountability?
They have the right to refuse service.
But it's a crime. It's a felony. The police department violating my rights and scheming with location and location. They are. Did you investigate it?
They request that you do not record inside their building.
I didn't record inside their building.
They don't want the recording with the people out here and everything.
So first the scheme was...
They've requested that you not record.
Okay, what's happening because the police came and assaulted me, sir. The police came and assaulted me and arrested me at New Beginnings. Now you guys are using the scheme of the only avenue that I have to escape your abuse and torture and your schemes to violate my rights as an avenue to deny services.
Here. They asked you to not.
But you came and assaulted me and arrested me at New Beginnings when I wasn't recording. The recording stopped your assaults and arrests.
Okay, all right. You get your feet.
So this is what they've gotten away with year after year. Then when they give me the bogus arrest, then give me bogus criminal trespasses. This is how you remain like this years with absolutely no accountability. I can't stop them. They've gotten away with it years. They've already showed, had them play games, hold up my day. How do I get in a safe environment? Because you guys just do this location to location year after year with no accountability. What do? I'm freeing a domestic violence crisis.
Stop recording in front of their business like they asked you to.
I was getting assaulted and arrested and removed multiple different times a day.
Today.
No, at New Beginnings when I was not recording, I got assaulted. That is a blatant lie. When you came on your own when I was not recording, you're using that as an alibi for this crime you're committing. You're using it as an alibi for the conspiracy to violate. That's what's going on. You're using me recording as an alibi for the crimes that you repeatedly kept. That's your alibi for the crimes that you've raked up years. They have to have cover up for their crime. If you don't get assaulted and arrested for attending a domestic violence support group if you're not targeted. That happened when I was not recording. So just from place to place, year after year, there's nothing I can do. You abuse your power, become with badges and guns, and in this location to location to lie, scheme, and become a con artist with you and keep me from all services, and then punish me for reporting it.
Like I said, because I need to.
That is not what is occurring.
Well, how else could it be? I'm trying to get services and getting a criminal trespass again for wanting it. No, I was getting removed trying to get services before I started recording. That's just your alibi.
What is you looking for?
The no domestic violence help, period. No shelter nowhere on the planet. Ignored again. Intimidation and bullying.
Well, there's lots of places for domestic violence help if that's what you're needing, but you have to follow their rules regardless.
I don't understand why I get bullied and mistreated and slandered all over the place. Like at Denton County Friends of the Family, I wasn't recording anyone. They lied and slandered and conned, wouldn't give me services, tried to give me dental and glasses and birth certificate and would not help me on anything to flee abuse and was argumentative. Then they lied and said I was recording inside, but yet and still were denying me of services and block paths and abuse while I was in there.
You still have to follow their rules. You don't follow their rules.
I don't know. I'm not being heard. I'm in a domestic violence crisis and I'm reporting felonies right now. Conspiracy to violate rights is a felony. Why are you disregarding the officer coming and assaulting me and arresting me for attending a domestic violence support group when I wasn't recording? Why are you disregarding them coming out to Plano, our calling, and multiple different other locations when I wasn't recording? They just came on their own and scammed to keep me from services. Now that I'm recording, they're blaming me recording their criminal activity on the reason that I'm getting denied services.
What criminal activity have we done?
Conspiracy to violate rights is a felony charge, and I have evidence that keeps occurring because you guys came and interrupted me from getting services in the past with arrest.
545. 7.
So this is just another avenue to keep me from services with an alibi if you're putting me out for recording, but this place has there's evidence that this place has lied and scammed to keep me from services prior to me recording, which is what I had to record.
So how, if you want to record everybody, but they ask you not to, how do you?
We were deflecting on why the police department came out when I wasn't recording, assaulted me, and took my freedom at a domestic violence organization.
Okay,
We're deflecting on all these schemes in the past, why the police department came to our calling, why they came to New Beginnings in Plano, why they came to New Beginnings another time, in Garland and multiple different other locations, until I started recording them, came on their own to set me up. Came to bus stops that I was trying to catch the bus at, 7 or 8 police, and arrested me for trying to use transit. We're deflecting on all that misconduct and criminal activity from the police department on blaming me for recording crimes that the police department repeatedly keeps committing.
I am sure that they have their own narrative about what happened.
Well, you're the police department. If I'm reporting crimes to you and keep on getting intimidation and mistreatment and abuse of power with absolutely no consequences, what am I supposed to do to combat this? If police department can't be put under control for assaulting a woman and arresting me at the Texas Rangers,
Well, did you file
arresting me in Dangerfield for reporting identity theft and problems with my card.
Did you file a complaint at that department?
I don't know how to do a report because this repeatedly keeps happening, and everyone that comes out seems to be covering for crimes and keeping me from services everywhere I'm at.
I've never met you before.
And then each time I build up money, there's scams to put me out of location to drain out all the money that I've saved, keeping me in a repetitive pattern that I haven't been able to escape.
Well, that's certainly a difficult situation.
Well, I'm asking the police department to help. What can you do as police? I'm fleeing a domestic violence crisis that's dangerous.
What are you wanting right now?
Well, someone canceled out my card and they've been getting it away with it years. And then when I went to Dangerfield to report that my card was being controlled 3 or 4 times a week, when I tried to use it in a crisis situation, trying to get hotel stays and food, then I tried to report it to them. They canceled my card without my consent. And I had me go all the way to Longview, but everyone was being abusive and wouldn't give me rides. So it took me a whole month. When I finally got to Longview, they scammed that they couldn't replace the card, the child SMI1 card child support division. So I called the police on the child support division and they went ahead and gave me my card. But this is a lot of abuse I had to endure. So what can the police do besides give me criminal trespasses year after year for getting services and having no accountability for it?
I'm still trying to figure out what you would like for us to do.
I can't get shelter because you guys keep interrupting it. The evidence of that is coming to New Beginnings, assaulted me and taking me to jail for trying to get services.
Okay. So what? But I'm sure that they probably have their own story about what happened, right?
The cameras have the right story. Cameras saw me just sitting there innocently, and the police came and abused badges and guns, kind of like what they're doing now. It hasn't been interrupted. So each location that they've scammed to give me a criminal trespass and deny services, they just, to keep the crimes going, they just give me criminal trespasses because the police department's enlisting these places to behave this way. So all we'll do is we'll give you a criminal trespasses to deprive you of services that you weren't going to get anyway, because the police department's behind it.
The police department has nothing to do with it.
Well, the police department just came and they denied me of shelter, and I'm getting a criminal trespass again for trying to get services.
Well, you're getting a trespass because they asked you to not record inside and you continued to. And then
That's your alibi, sir. I was not recording inside.
Well, that's their story of what they're telling.
They told me last time that I could come back, and then they said, don't come back for today. And then it changed to don't come back, period, and get a criminal trespass. These are mind games that have been played years on me.
Well, if they told you to not come back.
I'm not being heard. You haven't got your charges for this felony crime, doing this year after year, keeping me in jeopardy and not getting services. This is a felony, and you have yet to be held accountable for abusing your badges and guns and enlisting people to be pathological liars to keep me from services. The police department repeatedly has my environments become pathological liars and scheme to keep me from services in a conspiracy that is a felony charge. We have yet to address why you guys have not had accountability for doing this year after year. Taking my freedom in Dangerfield and all over the place for exposing crimes. Keeping me in jeopardy year after year, taking my freedom and nothing repeatedly done.
I haven't taken anything from you.
I can't get in a safe environment if you guys will not get your accountability. It can't be done.
There's no accountability here. This is not us.
It is you, because the police department just showed.
We were called and asked to come out because
that's your alibi. That's your alibi. Well, where's the safe environment? Where's the safe environment, sir?
And this would be a safe environment if you followed what they asked you to do.
They had me. There's a person that was in line after me that came after me that was still getting services that I couldn't get.
All right, Ms. Clark, here's your copy of the criminal trespass warning. It's just a warning. You don't have to do anything with that right now. That's just for your records. It says you have to leave the property. If you return to the property and they want to press charges, you might be subject to arrest, okay? You can use the sidewalk down here, and you can go in the parking lot to the adjacent properties, but just this parking lot, this building, and just be kind of...
You guys keep doing this everywhere I'm at. What am I supposed to do? Can you help me flee this country because you never get your accountability?
No.
Because you've done it year after year, and there's nothing that I can do. Did you give me my ID back?
You never gave me your ID.
Okay, I do have it. So here's the thing. I don't know how to flee the abuse that you guys are enlisted in because you just keep abusing power to do this location to location. I'm fleeing abuse, and I don't know
There's
how.
another shelter on 909 North Loop.
Did you offer to take me there? Why is that? If I'm fleeing abuse, why do you want me in homeless shelters? Why are you not investigating? Why please?
Another option. So.
No, because this happens place to place, everywhere I'm
Are
at.
you trespass from 909 North Loop from the other shelter?
I just don't know how to get law enforcement in this country to interrupt the pattern of police abusing badges and guns and having all locations bully me, mistreat me, harass me, and keep me from services and become pathological liars with them. In a conspiracy, that's a felony. This crime of criminal trespass is a misdemeanor. Well, you're committing the crime or you're tampering with evidence. Where's my report? I reported that this location has been scheming to keep me from services.
Okay.
I need my report number.
You gotta leave the location.
I'm wanting my report number for this place scamming to keep me from services. That's the number for the criminal trespass. I tried to report.
It's the report.
I want the number for the place scamming to keep me from services.
It's all under the same.
And them scamming
incident
and
number.
keeping you from services is not an illegal crime right now.
And for the police department to repeatedly abuse their power, badges and guns, and enlist civilians in the felony charge of conspiracy to violate rights is a crime.
No.
So they lied about the domestic violence program, had me come 3 times in one day for appointment, and then time I came to the appointment, she told me to leave. That's psychological abuse, lied about laundry, and multiple other different things. A person that came after me did not leave and still here.
Bad business
That is
practices
their
are one thing,
choice.
but it's not a crime.
So you guys just keep covering for crimes. How can I flee it? So you're not giving me any direction on how I can flee abuse you're enlisted in. Do you think the feds can do anything about you guys since I haven't been able to all this
Probably
time?
your best bet, but no.
So do you think that you'll get charges for doing this year after year?
Us? No.
You wouldn't be doing it if you thought you'd see your charges.
We have done nothing wrong.
You did. Are you getting me in a safe environment?
No,
Did you do that? Did you take a report?
We're not required.
That's tampering with evidence is a felony.
Required to.
If I'm doing a report in the crime and you're a police, why are you not required to take a report?
Nothing you've said has been a crime.
If people are scamming year after year and scheme to the degree of assaulting me and arresting me.
Told us what you have reported to me is not a
Okay,
crime.
the place lied. They set up a new protocol for me.
Not a crime.
That's still not a crime.
That's discrimination. They can't discriminate me.
Discrimination is a civil issue. It's not a criminal matter.
So I want to do a police report. Are you denying the report?
There's nothing.
You can file something in civil court if you choose to.
There's nothing I can do to stop you guys. So I want a report of these location scamming to keep me from services and giving me criminal trespasses for wanting services.
On my crime report that says refuse of services. That's not a crime.
That is their right as a private business owner.
Okay, so after the police department shows, I don't have any rights to combat you guys showing up and enlisting location to location to keep me from services and becoming pathological liars. I have no protection.
They are asking you to leave and you
I'm not being heard. I have no remedy from the police department enlisting locations I'm at to become pathological liars.
Calling us. It's your behavior that's making.
So you're slandering me and gaslighting me?
You're the one recording.
Making false statements. False statements is criminal. We're deflecting on the fact that they lied about the domestic violence program.
Saying that you're recording these people and they don't want you to. That's why you're trespassed. That is it. That is the only involvement I have. You were recording people. They said, please don't record these people out here in this shelter. And you continued to. So they called us to ask you to leave. You refused to leave. So now they were issued a criminal trespass. That's it. That's as far as my involvement.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, so when I got here,
Okay.
she told me to get in line. The line was only for people that were for last night.
Okay.
And multiple people that were sitting in the seats told me to get in line. They were doing the intake. I would go back and forth. And I said, are you doing the intake for people that weren't here last night? She said, wait a minute, and walk off while I was talking.
Okay.
She did that multiple different times. While I was in line, I asked her about the community food. She wouldn't tell me about that. She went back and forth and played games about that. Then she told everybody else to eat and deprived me of that. So if I can keep repeatedly getting treated like that, and our police department was taking me to jail, what is the expectation of what I would need to do to show proof of how I've been treated years? So if I can't record active crimes year after year, how would I show proof of how I'm repeatedly treated? Okay.
What you said, it sounds like they were just feeding and giving services for people who were in line last night, and you weren't in line last night. So she went out of her way to go see if she could, but you didn't meet the criteria because you weren't in line last night. So it was first come, first serve, which is this is a limited facility, so they do first come,
Okay,
first serve.
so when I was assaulted and arrested at New Beginnings and wasn't getting services. So I'm just trying to, I'm asking questions, you're police. I'm just asking questions, you're the police. Okay. So I wasn't recording.
I'm sure there's
Okay, I'm just trying, you're the police department. What was your badge number again?
1151.
And yours?
1066.
And your name?
Sham.
Sham. Okay. So I'm asking the police department. Okay. So when I wasn't recording, I went to New Beginnings and was assaulted and arrested and removed. I went to the Frank Crowley trying to get a protection order and was removed 2 times. I went to George Allen and was removed. I went to I went to Fort Worth and was removed. So if I'm not recording that these crimes, how am I supposed to get evidence of your repeated criminal misconduct?
They weren't committing any crime.
I'm not being heard. If the police were so bold to come in person and assault me and arrest me for getting services multiple different times and for doing police reports, taking me to jail, reporting crimes going on with my phone and threatening my arrest at the headquarters for reporting identity theft, if you guys were that bold to do that when I wasn't recording, that means that I need to record. So if you're punishing me, every time, and
they're a private business.
I'm not being heard. I'm trying to, if you're covering for crimes year after year. So at Austin Street, when I wasn't recording, and they put me out for asking for a cookie in the food line. I'm just trying to get clarity. Let me finish. So when they put me out for looking both ways to make sure no one was coming in the hall, they put me out. They demanded I take a shower when the shower was closed when I was sick. I said, okay, I'll take it. And they said, well, you got to leave anyway. They didn't think that I was going to do it because I showed signs that I was sick and dizzy. But I knew that they were scheming and I was sick, so they would scheme. So I got up anyway, and they put me out anyway. So if I don't record, if I'm not recording that they put me out for talking to the man in the snow, if I don't record that, how will I obtain evidence of this mistreatment I've had to endure years? If your alibi is that I'm recording abuse, that I'm getting criminal trespasses for recording consistent abuse, what am I supposed to do?
I see what you're saying. So here's where we hit a problem, okay? We are the cops. We are the government.
But I'm not asking to get in a safe environment.
You're not listening to me, so
I'm just asking to get in a safe environment, and you're the cops?
We're the cops. We cannot ask you to stop recording. We enforce the laws, and
you're enforcing the law, but I told you about several ones broken, and you're covering for it.
Crimes, because they are a private entity. So Walmart can say, I don't want you to shop at Walmart. Please don't record in here for whatever reason, kick you out. I am the government, so all your rights that you say you have rights, all right, are protected by the government. First Amendment, right to freedom of speech, all that stuff, Second Amendment, Third, Fourth, all the way up, is what the government can't do. Civil courts, private businesses, that is a different thing. So they can say, I don't want you in here with luggage. I don't want people who bring bicycles in. If you're yelling, if you're, for whatever reason, that sign that says we reserve the right to.
But I think that we're on different pages. You're trying to go in a direction. What I'm trying to make a complaint about. Hold on. What I'm trying to
go to civil.
I'm not being heard. We're deflecting. What I have a problem with is the police department enlisting civilians in their misconduct and criminal activity is what I'm trying to address. The police department would come out on their own. Now they're listing these locations to scam with them in that felony crime and keep me from services.
Are you going to leave this property?
I mean, I've been arrested 21 times. So people you have taken my freedom for trying to get services and report crimes.
Okay, well,
so I can't.
Refusing you services, so
they've done.
You must leave.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do to protect me as police? I'm in a domestic violence crisis.
You're not in a domestic violence crisis.
I am.
How long ago was your domestic violence incident?
Now that I'm trying to flee and the police department keeps coming to interrupt me.
You've been assaulted by a relative, family member, or something along the lines.
It's like a stalker. It's like an online stalker that's enlisting the police department in his abuse.
Stalking is not a domestic violence.
Oh, well, what is it called? I may not have the right legal.
It's called stalking.
Okay.
Okay, if you've been assaulted physically,
So it was an online relationship that's not a domestic violence
that's
situation.
not a domestic violence relationship.
That's what they said when I called on the domestic violence hotline and organizations.
I was a domestic violence investigator and detective for 5 years.
So
That's
what is
not a
domestic violence?
Domestic violence is a physical assault against an individual, family member, relative, or such that orders a deed. Okay,
Say now, so.
so that is a domestic violence.
So if you have an ex that's stalking you, that's not domestic
That
violence.
is not a domestic violence.
Well, what's that considered?
Stalking.
Okay, so the women and that are fleeing are fleeing stalking from an ex, they can't go to domestic violence organizations to get help.
They can, but those are civil organizations, not criminal. That is a
Civil organizations. What in the world are you talking about?
domestic violence shelters, such as Friends of the Family, or any of the other ones in the metroplex.
Well, can you find out why all of them have denied help and why I was put out of one gone?
I can't.
And why the police department came until I started recording?
They are a private organization. They can do as they see.
I'm not being heard. I'm just trying to
You're
expose.
being heard
I don't know how to help. Where am I supposed to go if this keeps happening? If I'm arrested just sitting at a domestic violence, what am I supposed to
You
do?
don't like the way that you're being.
I can't because escape you guys' abuse. What am I supposed to do? My card canceled year after year. Where am I supposed to go?
There's a
I keep everywhere I go. You're doing this,
You are free to leave at any time. You are not detained. You are free to leave.
but everywhere I go trying to get services, I have to leave. Can you help me leave this country? Because you guys have not had accountability and obviously will not stop.
I
What
cannot
can?
assist you in leaving a country.
Where can I go to do that? Because I can't stop you guys from doing this. You have not had any accountability. They give me criminal trespasses. They're in malice and scheme.
But I don't know.
Then apparently your behavior is warning trespassing. So that's all.
Slandering me and making false reports as an alibi to your misconduct and criminal activity is not acceptable. False reports is criminal.
First of all, slandering is a civil thing. It's
Now,
not.
if you're making false reports that jeopardize my safety and my ability to flee abuse,
Any false report.
you just said that my misconduct.
No,
And I just said showed a lot of police misconduct. And then he's over here, all these intimidation tactics.
You are free to leave right now.
This is criminal. To intimidate someone in the free right of getting services
You are
is a
free to
crime. They have taken my freedom
Police
21
department's
times.
over there if you want to file a complaint with my supervisor.
Contact somebody.
No, nothing's being done. I don't have rights.
601 East Hickory if you want to talk to my
This is why I had to live in a tent. Location to location to location, all up on me, nothing repeatedly done.
Nope. We tried to help you and we tried to explain it, but
I don't understand why I'm bullied and arrested in a domestic violence crisis. You taking bribes is criminal. That's a
I'm not taking
crime.
bribes.
Well, then why would you be racking up felonies for yourself,
Not committing any
risking your
crime.
freedom?
Free to go.
And using intimidation for me trying to get services year after year, that's a crime. And you have assaulted and arrested me with no accountability, so I'm not safe with the police. No, Garland did, and you guys were doing that before I started recording.
I'm not Garland.
That's why I started recording. This is how it is. I'm too old to go live in a tent again. Each time I build up a nest egg, they set up a put out, and I'm wiped out all my funds. Set up robberies back to back, arrests, 21. Taking cars, locations I live, furniture, just forced to not have anything. Year after year, let me get their license plate number. They want to be criminals and bullies. Maybe someone to hold these people accountable. Because I haven't been able to do it. Laughing. It's not funny. He laughed at the Texas Rangers when I was arrested. No fear of any accountability at all. There's nowhere I can go. They do it everywhere. No fear. We have badges and guns. We're on a payroll. He don't want you getting services, and you're not until we're held accountable. What I have. So I've cried and cried and cried and had meltdowns, and what you're seeing is just someone that has built up strength. For making it comfortable to be afraid and terrified for your life, and being forced out on the street to have to endure that for someone that's not familiar with that, to be forced into this. Okay? So I have no choices, but it's not safe for me to live in a tent. A gun got pulled on me, knives are pulled on me, vest control. So I don't know what to do. They're just going to keep showing up everywhere I'm at until there's accountability. Dallas isn't safe because trans is getting shut down. I don't know what's going on with that. They got away with that for you accountability, shutting down trains, buses, Nothing repeatedly done. So there's the cars coming immediately, but my phone's up. They just two came at one time. So I guess I'll stop the live. They want to wipe out the money that I have. It's financial abuse, and the government's enlisted in it.